Hello guys, Susanna here. I'm back with part number 2, and I'll show you how I have gone with this little guy here. Might put that forward. Finished the other eye. I've actually stitched around here, and I am now going to be working on the pod part. Actually, I might see. Here we go. I've got a pattern here. So here I'm thinking I had only 12 patterns. I've actually got more, so I better grab this one and put it out there. But I'd like to, have this pod so that you can actually see. I might put that over here. Have this underneath. Now, yeah, I just love the way that he looks so grumpy. He's so cute. So, yeah, so now we're going to be working on the pod. I'm probably going to do, I want to do probably a stem stitch around it. And then, yeah, we'll see how we work on that. And then I'd like to do some, I've got my book out, and I'd like to do some, like maybe some feather stitch or something, and do like some reeds or just little plants and stuff in the background. That might even be for next week, being inspired by looking at Carol from Oak House Journals making those beautiful things that she makes. This is actually for a friend. I've got my own one that I'm having in my book, and I've got a friend that always helps me put my kits together. And since I'm making this one, but this is the kit that everyone gets. I've got, well, since I found that one now, I've got 13 kits. So, okay, now, I think I had 14, but I've sent one away. So what we're going to do, I'm going to turn this into a journal for my friend, is we'll get quite like that. But I'm actually thinking I might use do I want to do the darker one, do the lighter one on the outside to blend it in, and then maybe use those darker colours, or do the opposite. I think I'm going to use this one. I like that one. Okay, I've just finished doing some of the highlight colours. It actually, from here down to there, it's actually pink, but so I really like the greeny colour, so I kept, it's hard to try and change what you see in a picture in real life and into stuff in fabric, but I love this fabric. It's so nice. It's really each kit will be just a little bit different. Like, there's the kit that I used on that one, and here's this one, and these are the hands, because the hands need to sort of be a little bit more on the pinky side down the bottom, so that's why it's got that one. So that's the body, the hands, and then this is a little bit, because I use batik fabric, it's a little bit different. So I should have had these made up already, but I will pause. I have a fairly big. So how are we all going? I've been really slack in catching up with my videos. I've had to, I'm only, I think, one ahead. So, yeah, need to be done a little more. Now I'm wondering whether I do, sort of seems to be sticking up, probably because it's been like that for a while. Wonder if I should I'll turn on my little iron and give it a bit of an iron, and then we're just going to do back back stitch, so fairly close to the edge. I'm going to try not to go up too close, because every time I tend to stand up, I always end up you're not being able to see it, because I bring it too close to me. Like, because when you sew things, you tend to bring things towards you, and it seems to be not being in camera, which I do apologize for. Feels like it's been ages since I filmed anything. It probably has. Oh, okay, I might just give it a bit of an iron down. Seems to be sticking up a little bit there. There we go. Okay. Working as I go. I did have, like, I've got a couple of little marks here which I do want to do with the green. I originally had a couple of black parts there. See these parts? And I was going to do them in black, but I think doing them in green would be better. There we go. So what we'll do is we'll just go around the edge here, all the way around, because it's the outside. We're just going to do the stem stitch. So I'll just do a little bit of that while I'm talking to you guys. I've been really enjoying working on some of my bits and pieces. I've finally finished the sparrow on a spool, which is really nice. I'm just going to be making that into a wall hanging. I still need to sew that button on it though. I'm being busily working on that galah as well. Oh, it's looking so beautiful. I'm doing all the flowers, like I'm trying to do. I've got one side done. I'm going to do one side and then I'll show you, and then I've got to do the other side exactly opposite. So I'm trying to do it in you know, like different techniques and all that kind of stuff. It is so beautiful. I really like it. So the next one I do with that will probably be after I finished doing this, and I'll be working around the eye. I do eventually want to make a kit out of it, because I've got about 18 of the squares left of this fabric, but you don't really need that much for the things I'm going to be dyeing, bits and pieces and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I might just, I've got to come up with a design. And I'm also working behind the scenes on another design. I've been very inspired by, like I said before, Carol from Oak House Journals has made these beautiful tags, and using eco-dyed background fabrics and everything. So I've attempted to eco-dye stuff, which haven't really gone that well, but the colour in the fabrics are really pretty, and I want to do a Four Seasons design, which can be turned either into, you know, like a book, a quilt, or whatever it is you want to turn it into. So I'll just have the designs, and yeah, it's something I'm working on in the back. I've got to be forever, you know, my brain's always going on what things I can create. So yeah, I've gotten the bits and pieces and fabrics for that. I'm always looking around for vintage finds whenever I go to thrift shops or markets, trying to look for, because I love found fabrics. I just think, you know, they've had a life before, so it's always nice. But I mean, with the batik fabric, I just love it, like this type of stuff, because it actually looks like eco-dyed. Like this is a batik fabric too, without it actually being eco-dyed. It's obviously how the manufacturers make them, and I just love the look of them. They lend themselves to nature. So yeah, because when I was doing journaling, I actually did seasonal collage, like for the seasons, and I really do like the different seasons, you know, the different leaves you can get in autumn and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm working on a seasonal piece, so, and still working on block of the month. Next month is a really nice one. It's a bunny, a baby bunny, and that inspiration for that one came from Alison Waiterly. I think it's how you pronounce it. On Instagram I found her. She does the most beautiful textile art, because I sort of want to do something a little bit different on each of the block of the month. Like the last one was my fox, which incorporated a little bit of painting. So yeah, well, I might, sometimes when you go around the corner you need to do it the other way. I might pause this because there's only so much yapping you can do. You can probably fast forward this if you haven't already. And then I'll come back. I'll probably go along there and along there, and then on here I'm thinking maybe just straight stitch so it's not as thick. So I'll just pause it. Okay, back again. I've just done, you can sort of see that it's being raised and it stands out a little bit. Hang a minute. And then I'm going to go along there, and I was thinking maybe just doing, I do want it to stand out, so I'm actually thinking maybe a stem stitch, but I might do a couple of little crosses, because I've got the light colour, and I've still got a bit of this browner colour, so I might do the stem stitch in the lighter colours, and maybe just a combination of both. Just trying to think. I think it probably just, I don't know whether it needs a bit of shading, but it's got little bits and pieces here, so I might do the lighter here with a couple of crosses and maybe implement something. I'll see how I go. Stem stitch seems to be quite thick, and because it's lighter, I'll just have a look. I'll do a couple of stem stitches and see whether it's too thick or not. It will make it stand out, because I want it to be, you know, it's a pod, so I think it does need to sort of have a bit of bulkiness to it, if you know what I mean. So I'll just it's the trouble when you've got a long piece, tends to bulk up. I went over them again with the pencil, so Okay. And sometimes it doesn't pay to have such a long thread, but you know, stem stitch is pretty quick. What I might do in here actually is do the stems with some of my wool, and then do the actual the heads with just this stuff, just to make it just something a little bit different. I've got that beautiful wool that I've got, and I'm really enjoying using it. I'm using it on my galah. Now I think it's better. I'm glad I did the darker on the outside, because you know, you want that to sort of stand out a bit, but I didn't want it to have it too dark. I didn't want to take away from the colour. On this one here, like, it's got darker colours, so you know, you could probably still use that one again, something like similar, maybe a little bit darker. So I'll use this brown colour to go here. Okay, and then we go down, and I might just go through there. And it doesn't really matter, you know, rather than going back, I'm just gonna go back this way. Some people might tie it off and go back, but because it's such a long piece, because that one's going that way and this one will sort of look a little bit different, but I don't mind. That adds to the texture of it. So this is about the stem stitch. I love it because it's nice and fast, but back stitch, sorry, is pretty fast too. So, but that's the difference. If you want to know what's the difference between back stitch and stem stitch, the back stitch, see how the funny part is the back of the stem stitch looks like back stitch. So and that'll be filled in before you know it. So I'll just finish to the end here, turn it off, and then probably go back. Oh, hang a minute. Now I could probably put it through here, and then go in there. Now, whether I decide to do, actually I think I was thinking maybe doing a couple of crosses and bits and pieces along here, but maybe there I might do a little bit of shading. Well, probably a couple of crosses would be nice. I'll have a look. Have a look, eh? So we start off there. Maybe just maybe not so much crosses, but little pieces going, you know, one way or another. Going down. So it's sort of like a cross, but it's not. If you know what I mean, it's a half cross. I'm just planning as I go. I mean, playing as I go. I'll show you in a minute. So it gives it a little bit more depth. So it's like you're doing a cross. Go like this, go down there, and then rather than going back up like you're doing a cross, you go just over a little bit like that. There we go. I like that. And then I'll just probably do the same. Like this. Hopefully you guys can see it on the same side, maybe a little higher up and a little closer, going across. Just need to add a little bit of texture, going across, and maybe just do a little teeny one on the top, just so it's a little bit different. There we go. Actually quite like that. That's cool. Can you see that? Try and get it as close as I possibly can. And so I'm going to go back along there, and on here I might do, I'm just going to do some stem stitch along here, and then probably actually do 3 crosses, maybe one big one, a smaller one, and then another big one there. So actual cross of crosses. Okay, well I'll pause it and I'll be back when I've done the other bits and pieces, and I'll show you how to do that. Back again. So I finished that off, and I've done all these little bits and pieces that I've done there, and on the bottom here I've just done this little stitch like this in the darker colour, just rather than doing it a stem stitch, I'm just doing a sort of like a far apart. So I did it along there, then just did a running stitch and then went along there. So what I'm going to do, see in the bits of the fabric, I don't know if you can see that, the little spot there. So I might do just like one big colonial knot and a couple of little French knots along there, and you know, find little bits and pieces with spots, and you know, make it a bit more, I want it to look a bit more tactile. So I'll finish this off here. I've kept this colour here because I'm still not 100% sure what I'm going to do, so I'm just going to finish this off, and then I've got some of this reddish colour here, because there's a little bit of that reddy colour on the bottom. So I'll keep this brown. I may end up using this brown, or I might end up using something a little lighter. So we'll see how we go. So what I want to do here, see it's got this little reddy colour, and I want to bring out some of that reddy colour. So I'm going to do it across here. Might do it a little cross along here. Move that out of the way. I don't care if they're not straight. I sort of want them to be a little bit, you know, rustic. Some parts longer than the other. I might end up doing 5 because I like to do an uneven amount. A more sort of longer one, and then I'll do a bigger one up here. So I start up there and end up doing it coming out there. quite like that. So that's how that looks. I may just bring maybe just a couple of lines or something in here just to bring that colour, and I might even go back with that too, just sort of go sideways. Sort of add like you're adding little spots, if you know what I mean. There we go. I might do one like that, another one here, just a couple of little inflections, almost like a bit of seed stitching in a way, just to add a bit of colour and blend that bottom one in. Okay, might as well use it up. Okay, and I was actually thinking, since these have only got two, I'm going to go back up there, and in the middle of each of these I might do a couple going across. I think I'm going to need that. Just in the middle of those, just to bring that colour in. Okay, there we go. I like that. Looks cute, because on the actual the pod, the picture that I got it from, there's all bits of rough pieces on there, so I'm just trying to emulate the stitching, like doing a little bit of bits and pieces here and there, making sense to myself. Okay, now what we're going to do, whether we do it in this colour or not, keep that aside. Whether is that's too dark, I'll find out. Or do we go that and another colour? No, I do like the idea of having a couple of dark spots. So what I'm going to do with here, I'm going to do a colonial knot, because they're usually a lot bigger, and then maybe just a couple of French knots that scatter towards, I'll do that's 3 there, tiny little French knot there. Now this is how you can, there's no rhyme and reason. I'm just going to just sort of do them as a long bits and pieces there, just adding a little bit of texture. And I might even do, I've got like one there, may even do a couple of little seed stitches, like tiny little Going to do any which way. Any tiny little ones. So just adding a tiny bit of texture. I'll stand up and show you in a minute. And because we need them uneven, I'm just going to do 5. There you go. Oop. So there we have it. Little French knot. So it's got a little, and then the seed beads, seed stitch. And then I'll probably do some more along there. And you know, you may even do, see how that's got the straight stitch along there, almost looks like fire. You could probably even go and do a couple of little straight, because they're on the angle, you could probably do a couple of straight stitches in the darker colour. And so the next one, I really like how that looks. The next one I am going to come back and do some bits and pieces around the back of it, and just do some like reeds or whatever they're called. So I really like that. It's a fairly simple one, so I'm going to be making that into, but it just needs something along the back. If I probably can do a nameplate along there, but I might do a couple of little, and then I'll probably do, see there's a little dot there, probably to have that as a French knot, and then maybe a couple of seed stitches there. Still might go along, but do what you like. You can barely see that, but that's what you want. I really like that. It's just you bring out the colours of what's already in there. So, oh, and I've got to go around here, you know, highlighting. So I'm going to probably do that in that green colour that I used there. So yeah, I like it. Okay guys, thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. He's so cute. Very grumpy little frog, but he is very cute. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.